Hi guys, today we're going to be learning how to solve math problems using real life situations, so let's get into it. Excuse me.
Yeah?
I have a question for you. Last week I sold 40 UCDs and videos at $4 per CD and $6 per video, but the total was $180. I don't know how to figure out how many of each I sold. Can you help me?
Yeah, sure. Let me explain it to you. So the first thing you're going to want to do is write a system equations for the problem. So you have to define your variables, which x equals the CDs, and y is going to equal the amount of videos. And now you're going to have to make an equation for that. X plus y is going to equal 40, and then we're going to do 4x plus 6y equals 180. Okay, so here I have made a graph, and on the y-axis is the video sales and x is the CD sales. So we're going to have to graph our two equations up here, and we're going to have to put them into slope-intercept form. Y equals negative x plus 40, y equals negative 4/6x plus 30. For y equals negative x plus 40, we're going to find 40 on the y-axis, go down 1 and over 1, and we're going to make this a negative line because it is a negative slope. For y equals negative 4/6x plus 30, you're going to find 30 on your y-axis, and you're going to go down 1 places and over 6, and it should look something like this. Now we're going to solve this problem by using elimination. So we're going to take the top equation and multiply everything by 4. So you get 4x plus 4y equals 160. Then you're going to subtract to get negative 2y equals negative 20, and then divide everything by negative 2 to get y equals 10. To find x, we're going to do x plus y equals 40, and then substitute the y, x plus 10 equals 40, subtract 10, x equals. Now we're going to have to check to make sure we're correct. So we're going to take what we got for x and y, and we're going to substitute that from our original equations. So for x plus y equals 40, we're going to do 30 plus 10 equals 40, which equals 40. So that is correct. Now I'm going to go over here, I'm going to substitute x and y for 30 and 10. So 4 times 30 plus 6 times 10 equals 180. That is also correct. So you have sold 30 CDs and 10 videos.
Hey Brian, how much money did you make at the car wash today?
I made $28 by washing 4 cars and vacuuming 2 cars. How much did you make?
I made $38 by washing 5 cars and vacuuming 4.
Do you remember how much it was to vacuum and wash each car?
No, but I can show you.
Really? Cool.
Yeah. So first you're going to want to define your variable and make the equations. So x equals washing cars, y equals vacuumed cars. So your only two equations are going to be 5x plus 4y equals 38. And your second equation is going to be 4x plus 2y equals 28. The first equation represents how much money I made, and the second equation represents how much Brian made. So you want to get these two variables to be the same amount, so you can just subtract and have your answer. You're going to multiply this whole equation by 2. Then you can just easily subtract the 2. So that equals 18. And then you would divide by 3 on both sides to get x equals 6. So now that we know that our x value is 6, we need to solve for our y variable. We're going to substitute in our x for 6. 30 plus 4y equals 38. Then we want to subtract 30 on both sides, because what you do on one side you do to the other. You divide by 4 on both sides and you get y equals 2. To ensure you have the right answer, you're going to do a check. So to do this, you're going to pick your first equation. You can substitute your answers for x and y. Which simplifies further into 38 equals 38. And then you know that that is the correct answer. So now you're going to take your second equation and do the same thing. Which simplifies to 28 equals 28, and that is correct. Does that make sense?
Great, so now we know that it costs $6 to wash a car and $2 to vacuum a car.
Miss Julia, I have a question.
Can you please read me the question to the problem?
Problem number 3. The measures of complementary angles have a sum of 90 degrees. Angle A and angle B are complementary and their measures have a difference of 20 degrees. What are the measures of the angles?
Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is draw out your picture. Okay, so since the lines A and B have a sum of 90, you're going to write your equation A plus B equals 90. Since the lines have a difference of 20, you're going to write A minus B equals 20. Then you're going to use substitution to find A and B. You can add both equations to get 2A equals 110. Then divide 110 by 2, and then you'll get A equals 55. To find B, you're going to want to substitute A for 55. 55 plus B equals 90. Subtract 55 to get B equals 35.
Welcome to the Willis Tower in Chicago.
Hi, I was wondering how tall the Willis Tower is.
Well, the total height of the tower and the antenna is 1,729 feet, but the difference between the antenna and the tower is 1,171 feet.
Oh, I'm not really sure how to figure that out.
Don't worry, I can show you. First, you're going to define your variables. T equals total height, A equals height of antenna. Then, you're going to want to write out your two equations. So, T plus A, which is the total height plus the antenna height, equals 1,729. T minus A equals 1,171. That is the difference between the height and the antenna. Now, you're going to use elimination to solve this problem. We're going to add T and T together to T. Both the A's cancel each other out, equals 2,900. And then divide by 2 on each side. T equals 1,450. So now that we know the value of T, we're going to substitute T in for our first equation. So now you need to check your answer by substituting in the values of each variable into each equation. So for the first equation, we substituted 1450 for T and 279 for A, which gave us 1729 equals 1729, which is correct. So now we know the total height of the tower is 1,450 feet, the height of the antenna is 279 feet, and total the height is 1,729 feet.
Great, I'm so glad I got to learn more about the Willis Tower.
Bye, thank you so much for watching. Tune in next week for more fun math problems.